Good afternoon. Heather sent me some questions which she asked me to answer in a video to you. I've written the answers and I'm more or less going to read them because I don't want to take up too much time because I know you're pretty tight on time. So the first question is, what is a Menzshed? Well, a Menzshed is a place where men can find companionship and share ideas and skills with other men of their own age. It's a place where they can regain their sense of well-being and self-respect by making or repairing things for community groups. And it's a place where they can learn more about men's health issues. Who is it for? Well, it's for men who have retired or who've been made redundant and are finding it difficult to get a job because the world thinks that they're too old and past it. How many men can a men's shed engage? Well, that obviously depends on the size of your shed. In Wellington we have 40-odd members. Over the hill in the Wairarapa there's a shed there which has 150 members, and they're now building themselves a brand new shed because they've got so many. Why have a men's shed and what is its purpose? Well, when you retire, no matter how many qualifications you've got and how great your experience, the day after you retire you become a non-person. People will say, "John, oh, nice fellow, but he's past it. The world has moved on." Well, that can be incredibly destructive to a man's sense of well-being, and it often leads to depression and other health issues. So the men's shed is a cure for those conditions. How long will it take to set up a men's shed? Well, first you need to find yourself a shed, somewhere that you can work from, then half a dozen people or so that are the trustees and who have the energy and willingness to make the place work. Then you're in business. Where is the best type of place to have a men's shed in a city? Well, you need somewhere that's central and easily accessible to your target audience, preferably on public transport routes, so that if there's as in New Zealand we have the gold card, where if you're over 65 you can get free buses after 9 in the morning and before 3 in the afternoon. So somewhere central. It should be permanent, or at least on a long-term lease. It should be large enough to cope with several workbenches and some heavier machinery like a draw saw or a buzz saw or a thicknesser. It should be large enough to have toilets, power, somewhere to brew tea, and a social room, and you must have some storage because there are projects that you'll probably be working on. But, it doesn't have to be new or immaculate. As long as it's warm, dry and safe, that's fine. How would you involve the target groups? Well, once a man realises what's on offer and that it's affordable and accessible, he'll join because there's nothing much else around for men. The biggest problem, of course, is contacting the men. And to do that, you've really got to present a good public face. You've got to get stories published in your local newspaper. The members perhaps presenting to a kindergarten the toys that they've repaired or painted. Email the churches, the rest home, and people like that with some words and pictures that they can run in their newsletter. Get members to make sure that the word men's shed crops up in their conversations with everyone. Why should we do men's sheds? Well, because socialised and busy men are not found unnecessarily in hospitals or in rest homes waiting to die. Who might we involve? Well, everyone and anyone. This is a growing issue for society where we're living a lot longer and there's a great enough percentage of older people in the population. This is causing problems with our health issues, as I'm certainly well aware. Specifically, who can help? Well, the health services for better advice and information, local authorities who may have suitable premises, companies who might offer cheaper tools or cheaper materials, the local media who may help promote your men's shed, and even wives who might drop in a bash of scones for morning tea. Is a men's shed just for old men? Well, while the programme is designed to cure a specific issue with men, the shed doesn't have to be an exclusive reserve for men. This will depend on your community's attitudes. At times, men will feel more comfortable with an all-male community, especially if they're talking about health issues. We're not good about talking about things like that. Our shed had a 30-year-old woman who was a neighbour who was between jobs, and she wanted to come and help in some way. So she came and painted for a couple of weeks. She was great. We enjoyed her company. She enjoyed being with us. Then recently we've had a young French woman who wanted to learn how to do box making, and she came and worked here on 2 or 3 mornings a week. Again, great company, no complaints. She fitted in well. The local MP visited and said that he meets many young men who have their first home, want to do it up, and don't know how to use most of the tools that we use every day. He wanted to know, would we be prepared to train younger men in carpentry? Well, of course we would. And the last 2 questions, when can we start? Now. Where will we start? Your place. Hope that helps. Bye.